Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. We are in Star Citizen now for 3.19, first wave on the PTU. And we're going to be diving into lots and lots of 3.19 stuff over the next week or so. It was a bit of a surprise that it went to first wave PTU quite so soon. There are still various problems with the patch, and they are not testing all of the new features yet. But in this video, I wanted to have a bit of a look around Lorville 2.0, or the updated Lorville. We are up in the air at Lorville, just over the spaceport, and there are many a beautiful building, and in the distance there you can see some of the industrial sort of buildings. There's a load of roads and trenches. I can't get too close to some of this stuff because it will just go, and now we're putting you in, we're going to impound your ship. But this is what I found that's quite interesting. There's these little hangar areas that we'll be able to land in. And there'll be missions and stuff associated with them as well in the future. The big old hangar section going all the way through to the other side. And there's all these roads and highways and trenches. And massive buildings now as well. So they've really improved the verticality. I made a new word. Verticality of the buildings here. Lots of interesting areas to land on as well. I'm not sure if some of this stuff is just the sort of window shader tech, or if there's stuff inside some of these. Obviously you can see like trees and stuff. Little gardens on the roofs, little landing areas. Be a massive buildings. Lots of new landing areas. Significantly higher detail just throughout the city. You can see that window shader there as well. You see it looks almost like they're 3D, although like they're TVs. But that is effectively flat. They're just trying to make them look 3D. Inside that. It's very resource efficient. You've got all the sort of branding as well around now. Lots of billboards, lots of those sort of holographic signs. Your big central business district statue over there. Now I do get some frame slowdown every so often. Obviously it's not particularly well optimized yet. And it's the first time I'm running the Wave 1 PTU, so I haven't deleted my shaders folder, so that can cause some issues sometimes. I like the big spaghetti junctions of sort of highways. You can see more of those sort of like landing-ish areas. Can we fly through without it killing us or immediately impounding us? That is pretty cool. So yeah, there's loads of little areas like that around now that you can sort of dash through or explore. And eventually there'll be sort of gameplay mechanics tied into some of these areas. You'll be able to do missions there. You'll be able to land there for other reasons. Some are just for, you know, flavour and making the city look bigger. But some are actually going to have tangible gameplay purposes. So I'm just sort of floating around with not much rhyme or reason other than to sort of explore and see some cool stuff. And yeah, I'm massively impressed. That one of the reasons I love Star Citizen is because of how pretty it is. And I'm happy to experience Star Citizen as a tourist. I'm sort of floating around and seeing the new stuff every so often. But when they have this like massive city update like this, where they've doubled the size of the city, they've added a load of new assets, they've improved that sort of detail. It's awesome to see. The lighting at night is absolutely fantastic as well. It's a very different beast during the day. But I'm sort of interested to know why other people play Star Citizen and sort of do some of the things they do. Is it because the game is pretty and you like to explore? Or is it because you want to tie that in directly with gameplay? And why do you play Star Citizen sort of like at the moment? So over here, we've got some of the sort of more foundry buildings. Around these areas, it doesn't sort of like flying. And I found that the restriction zones are a lot more aggressive, but it does say on those signs, sort of fly with caution, all that sort of jazz. You've got those big like furnaces and foundries. Let's see if we can find some of the spinning buildings. And there'll be some around. Well, that's just a big crater in the floor over there. So I get very easily distracted when flying around Lorville. Apologies. People are like, but you said you were going to do this. I don't know what I'm going to do. These? How deep are these silos? Apparently going all the way through the planet. Wow. So if they're sort of like the more industrial outskirt areas, you've got sort of trenches here that you could fly through. Let's get back to the main city proper. Hopefully we can see some of the... We'll look at some of the spinny buildings at some point. Hopefully one will just catch my eye. And you'll see what I mean. It looks like a sort of a big mixer. But yeah, there's sort of central areas. They've got a load of interest going on. Oh, what's going on here? That's just a nice light lit up area. I think it's this sort of... Yeah, there's just so much scale and verticality added both up and down. And you've got some of those gold-cladded buildings as well. Sort of like, oh, look how rich we are. We can clad our building in gold. I've decided to return in an arrow. Didn't want to wait for my Saber Raven to be unimpounded, even though it's a few seconds. Let's continue to look around. I'm really hoping that ArcCorp also gets the same sort of level of detail upgrades at some point. I mean, I almost certainly will. There's so many buildings that you can just fly through and around. It's getting close to day as well, which is good for recording, because I'll be able to transition to the day. You've got those foundries, you've got those big crater sort of things. You've got the expanded transit system. So yeah, leading to one of the gates. So yeah, that train system much bigger. You've got the pipework leading out to some of the islands as well. So you see this sort of like scaffold and pipework. That's leading to some of these industrial zones. Expanded out on the edges. Again, with new assets as well. All of that smog as well, causing, I suppose, a lot of the problems with frame rates around the city. See if we can see some of those mixers I promised you. Before it puts me in the... oh no, wrong button. There we go, we've got a mixer over it. See it spinning? You know, there's a cool load of new assets, and I like the fact that some of them are moving like that. And there are a couple of other types as well. Smog. The way the sort of sunlight diffuses off it as well. You'll notice as it becomes day that the whole city, the way it looks, changes. And obviously we're sort of like in the smog cloud now. You can see the sun just starting to come over. It'll dip back under, and it will still effectively be night time. But that skyline is now pretty impressive. Yeah, just so much stuff going on at Lorville. It's worth sort of taking a look and flying around. I'm flying my ship very poorly. But hopefully, that's what people wanted to see. A bit of the, look at these highways as well. So they're so sort of expansive. Got the train tracks and the highways, obviously. I love the idea of being able to drive ground vehicles around. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do that in a lot of the major cities, obviously. Let's fly towards the main Hurston Dynamics building. Yeah, so that lighting and that smog does cause a lot of frame rate drop at the moment. Hopefully that'll get further optimized. You can see we haven't crashed at all while we've been playing, which is a great sign for stability for 3.19, even on the PTU. Obviously Xenothreat's not running, so that is helping for sure. But yeah, a lot of cool stuff to see. See as it becomes sort of daytime. I think the city looks less impressive during the day. I think just during the nighttime it looks like a big hub of activity. Obviously a lot of it's faked. And you won't be like landing on the Hurston Dynamics building anytime soon or anything, because they need to they need to update it so that you could land on that, so like hero assets like that, unless those buildings have been already set up for it. Thought I'd have a bit of a look around the city during the day as well. It's just so different looking. Obviously, it's like night and day, but quite genuinely, it's they've made it look great both during the day and at night. And obviously, it's the smog during the day. You can literally see it is a city under the clouds, sort of that industrial smog. And if I boost up into it, you can see there is a thick layer of cloud which covers the city and just really affects the way it looks. So you sort of can't see it. And then you duck under and it is revealed. but you can sort of see that it's causing a lot of frame issues, but not a huge amount. I mean, it's just not particularly optimized yet. It needs a bit of tweaking. I mean, I could obviously lower my resolution or lower my graphic settings or whatever, but once we have Vulkan and that sort of jazz as well, that will provide a lot more optimizations. And once Cloud Imperium optimize it more. But yeah, Lorville, lots and lots of nooks and crannies to explore. I mean, just sort of a fraction of it there. And it's worth exploring. It's worth diving into some of those little hangars and landing pads and trenches. And you'll find things that you did not know existed. Cloud Imperium like to hide lots of Easter eggs around as well, so sort of bear that in mind, or at least some. And hopefully places like ArtCorp will get the same sort of treatment. But I'm interested to know what you think. Like, are you excited to see sort of stuff like this in game, even if it is just more of a pretty factor? I mean, at the end of the day, Star Citizen wants to look beautiful and sort of awe-inspiring, while also being something that you can literally, tangibly get involved with. So I can fly around the city, and I might be flying around the city having a fight or landing around these buildings to do missions. So that layer of you're actually there is core to Star Citizen. But I'm really interested to know what you think. Is there any particular parts of 3.19 that you want to see? Hopefully, what's your sort of frame rate? When you're doing this, do you have 1 frame a second? And what are you thinking of 3.19 at the moment? Like, at the moment, for me, it seems incredibly stable. It seems that 99% of the problems have been fixed. And from compared to 3.18 or 3.18.2, like, there's very little desync compared to what there was, at least from what I've seen. I'm able to spawn my ships regularly. Have they stopped moving, the traffic, or are they slow? They're just slow. Oh, no, it's because they're tiny. So this sort of stuff's fake at the moment. I'd love to see proper little cars driving about. But yes, I'm really interested to know your experiences in 3.18.2 and how they compare to 3.19. Are you in the first wave PTU? Are you waiting for the patch to go live? Are you looking forward to Fleet Week? And whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day, but give him a NordVPN subscription using nordvpn.com/BoredGamer or the links below, and he'll browse the internet more safely and with greater accessibility for a lifetime, or at least until his subscription ends. He can then shop for his own fish from places like Tesco's, Walmart, or Asda or something. It also makes a fantastic gift. Next time you go to a dinner party or a wedding, bring them a NordVPN subscription. Bam! You'll be the talk of the town, and it's certainly better than bringing a fish. Please remember to like and subscribe, and if you'd like to go further to support the channel, then use that join button under my videos or the Patreon links below. That would be amazing. It goes a long way to helping Zin and I be able to create daily videos, and you'll get some exclusive perks, including some videos, posts, and polls to help guide the channel. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For May, it's for an Origin 400i, the luxury exploration touring ship capable of taking 3 crew to distant stars. It also comes with lifetime insurance and a Star Citizen game package. To be in for a chance of winning that, just comment on any of my videos made during the month. More details down below. Thanks very much for watching. I hope to see you in the verse.